We're just about to start. Listen, there's something you can do for me.
Dan, we did a snag.
Oh God, what is it?
Well, shh, because I think people are probably listening, but I can't find your car shop.
What?
The Bar Mitzvah, the portion.
Notebook?
No, the
Yeah.
notebook, yes, the notebook. It's got the Torah portion in it. And I put it in your case.
It wasn't in my case.
Right. Did you look?
Of course I looked. I opened up my case and took the saxophone out. There was nothing in my case. It's gone.
Okay, good. Yes, the sacred ceremony.
It's locked.
That's, sure, that's good, that's great. You probably put something on top.
No, listen.
Look
Listen, I'm thinking maybe it's just as well that it's lost. I never really got it together. I never really learned it. No, seriously, listen, I was supposed to work with Joe Carton, but he couldn't come out from New York, and I was supposed to work with Dina, but I couldn't get her on Saturdays, and then Naomi went off to Poland before I thought she was going to. And I got some MP3s, and I got a book out from the library, but I never really learned it. People would laugh at me, people would cringe. No, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. No, I don't. Hey, don't yell at me.
You big sissy.
I'm not the sissy.
Yes, you are.
Are you Bar Mitzvah boys? Hello. You're almost ready. Almost ready.
Okay, no, we got it, actually. But it's our fabulous MC,
Barry. We can't tell
and we
him.
need to tell him.
No, we can't tell him. We're going to
We
have to
need to tell
stall.
him.
We'll think of something. We can't tell
I'll
him.
stall,
Yes.
because he's crazy.
No, because he's not.
No, he is.
No, he's a great guy because he's very spiritual, and I knew you didn't want anybody else Jewy, so he's a Buddhist.
You got a Buddhist? Oh. So the
Oh,
guy you got on the bar
He's ready, here we
to my
go.
Bar Mitzvah
We're ready,
is a
okay.
Buddhist.
Let's do it back.
Oh, you like that, don't you?
Boys,
Yeah.
come on back. Rabbi and your wife, Sabrina, hello, you're lovely. Let's get ready, we're about to start. Harry, will you, I usually start with a drum roll, like a little drum roll. Yeah, Please rise if you can. Welcome Don and his family. So before we go any further, I would like to introduce you to one of Don's most important benefactors. Dan, yeah, that's right. Ms. Shapiro from the Jewish Music Festival.
It's the Jewish Music Festival.
Yes.
Thank you very much. A lot of us have never met, although we have one thing in common. We all love Dan Plonsey. I'm Ellie Shapiro from the Jewish Music Festival, and I'd like to be the first to ask, Dan, what took you so long? But it's okay. We're all very proud of him, aren't we? Who would have thought that a year ago when we were thinking what to do, that this would actually turn out to be a real bar mitzvah?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Ellie, there's been some mistake. Excuse me. I'm Dan Schifrin. I'm Director of Public Programs at the Denver Jewish Museum. And we are not allowed to have an actual ritual here. We will lose our law.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Dan Schifrin. Take a very good look so you can distinguish him from the other Dan Plonsey. This one is a little shorter, more hair, slightly less nervous. Dan is here from the Contemporary Jewish Museum to make sure we keep everything kosher.
It's a little too kosher.
Yes, and so we all know that Dan is going to get into the spirit of things and not get too bogged down in rules and regulations.
There are rules and regulations. Turn off your cell phones. There are 2 exits, here and here. And of course, I don't have to tell you, please don't smoke or light candles or anything like that, right? And thank you.
Okay, well, let's not overload everybody right at the beginning. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We move into the mysterious world of the Spirit, led by our guide, Rabbi Hartel Hirschman from the Hirsch Anderson Jewish Center. Rabbi.
There's no yelling.
It is a very great pleasure to welcome you tonight to celebrate Dan.
Separation of church and
Together.
state.
This Bar Mitzvah ritual connects us all, especially to a beautiful, and demanding tradition thousands of years old. Let's take a moment of silence to reflect on how we all know and the importance of his approaching the Torah at this juncture in his life. Now I'd like to introduce you to Dan's wife, Mantra. Mantra will sing the first song. It is Hashem Shalom, program, page 2.
Give me a moment to look in the program. Page 2. You can all sing Oseh Shalom. I know a lot of you will know the words, and the rest of you will just pick them up. Oseh Shalom Ibrahim. Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu. Le'amo Yisrael. V'imru Amen. Oseh Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Israel. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom.
Now we'd like to have Dan's parents come with a blessing for their son.
Hi, I am Dan's father. Now, I could tell you some embarrassing stories about when he really was 13, like the time he got caught in the shed playing doctor. No, I'm kidding you all. No, but seriously, Dan takes after, my side of the family, as we're both teachers. In fact, I thought he would do a little bit more with his super expensive degree from Yale other than sit around in his dorm room listening to Sun Ra reel to reel and making fun of the football team. But, yes. So, we always felt that he had something to fall back on. As his mother and I said, that if playing the saxophone didn't pan out, he could always be a comedian.
Stop, I never said that.
He's also very musical. I mean, we're a musical family. Both of us are musical. And, in fact, in junior high school, when Dan was in junior high school, I wrote him a song for the talent show. It's a country western song.
Nobody wants to hear that.
It kind of goes something like this.
Stop it.
I've been flushed down the toilet full of love. I've been plugged into the garbage can of life. And I swear I'm sorry that people up above. I've been plugged into the toilet full of love. No, there was a solo.
Don't embarrass me.
All right, well, say what you will. He won the talent show. I gotta go validate the parking, folks. You enjoy.
No, go ahead, Judith. I'll be right back, honest.
Well, I'm so nervous. I'm Dan's mother, and we're all very proud of Daniel. He was always such a sensitive and caring child, and we always supported his choice when he was 13 of not having a bar mitzvah. Anyway, and we almost didn't make it here tonight. I left so many messages on his phone, and he didn't return them. We didn't know where this was going to be. I mean, really, you should answer your messages. But that's all right, because we're all here now. Oh, we love you very much. And your children look so beautiful, and it's so wonderful. Oh.
And now we move to the Bar Mitzvah ceremony itself.
Hang on a second.
Dan?
We have a little bit of a hang-up. We're planning to move the ceremony part to the end. It's not very orthodox.
What's going on?
We've got a very valuable aunt coming in from Dallas. And she's stuck at the airport, and there's supposed to be a nephew coming to pick her up, and we don't know where he is. And
Okay, don't worry.
maybe 20 minutes.
Okay, I can do
So
it.
yeah, you
I'll do it. I got stuff. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Okay, folks, we got a little change around in the program. As you know, Dan is an out-of-this-world kind of guy, so his bar mitzvah is going to be a little topsy-turvy, not what you expect, but really snazzy. So we all know that a bar mitzvah is where we cut off the foreskin of the penis. And then... Gotcha! We all know what a bar mitzvah is. Okay, let me take a moment to introduce you to some of the family. Uncle Bill here, Dan's brother-in-law, was brought into court recently And the judge said, "You've been brought here for drinking." And Bill said, "Okay, well, when do we start?" And Judith, Dan's mother, lovely woman that you just met, she had 2 chickens. One of the chickens got sick, so she made chicken soup with the other one to feed to the first one. Thank you. Good, great. And Dan and Mantra have a very special relationship. It's working very well, as you can all tell. Now, I'm going to let you in on their secret. Once a week, every week, they go out for a nice meal, good food, wine, music, very nice. Mantra goes on Tuesdays, Dan goes on Fridays.
Leave Mr. Plonsey alone.
Oh, just a couple jokes. So, here's one I wrote myself. I'm working on some, developing my own show. What do you call a Jewish child molester? A convert to Catholicism. Well, okay, I'm working on that one. Need a little revision. Okay, sorry. Okay, we'll move along. Dan, as you know, has a very nice hobby. He does music. It gives him a lot of pleasure. Maybe he can play us a song with these folks here. Take a short song and then go along.
Okay, sure, let's play number 43. You know, I give my songs numbers for titles, not because I don't have titles for them, but because I like numbers so much.
How about maybe another one then? Maybe another song that lasts some more time.
Okay, 13, 14.
Dan will now give us a talk. Behind the scenes with the Bar Mitzvah boy. Take it away, Dan.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's so good to see all of you here. You know, when I was 13 years old, I didn't want a bar mitzvah because I was so shy. The idea of facing so many people would have really scared me. Also, I didn't really feel like an adult yet. My cousins really wanted me to have a bar mitzvah. Every time we would visit them in White Plains, they would play me the soundtrack, Fiddler on the Roof, over and over again, and tell me what great presents they would have for me. If only I would have the bar mitzvah, but I wouldn't do it. But recently, I did start to feel like an adult. A few things happened. I noticed that I had 2 sons, and that I've been teaching math at Berkeley High for 5 years now. And I'm saying things to my students like, where's your pencil? And how can you do math without a notebook? I've become the authority figure I never wanted to be. I grew up in the 70s. We hated authority. We were rebels. We didn't want to ever be the man. But then things changed, and now here I am. It's been horrible. Other things have happened. I know things don't taste as good, things don't look as good, or sound as good, or smell so good, and I hate everything. I've completely lost my sense of humor. So I decided that perhaps a bar mitzvah would begin to sort of a celebration of becoming an adult. I don't know, maybe it'll do something for me, but I don't know, I'm not sure. It's not been entirely working out so well. And this last year, some very strange things have been happening too. recently I've been stalked by a group of former students. You know how Pythagoras had a group called the Pythagoreans and they thought he was divine? Well, he played it up, he liked it, but I disavow all that. I'm only talking, my students know only if you're interested. Do I want to work with you? And I'm not the sort, I'm not divine at all. And these Plonsagorians or Plonsagoreans are following me to the ground. And it's just like with,
Okay, but wonderful, very interesting fellow that Dan is, very nice. Okay. Martha will now give a talk. It's very rare that a Bar Mitzvah boy has a wife, and definitely not a beautiful wife as Martha. So this is a special occasion. You can just maybe give a little talk about what it's like to.
Well, okay. First of all, my name's Matra, and Barry was teasing me about that because he thinks it's a silly name. And of course, it goes without saying that we're just delighted to have you.
We're going to sort out some of the program and order and all that. Just take us a minute. Why don't you talk amongst yourselves, mingle, discuss. Go ahead.
That was such nice dance.
I'm sorry to bother you, but there seems to be some confusion still about speaking of Bar Mitzvah. So this can't be a real Bar Mitzvah.
Wait, but maybe the impression is supposed to not going to be a real Bar Mitzvah.
Because it said Dan Plonsey's Bar Mitzvah in quotes.
But titles always have quotes in them. Does that, by that logic, am I Dan Plonsey or am I Dan Plonsey?
I'm not sure. I do know you brought your parents, and that confused me.
Those were my parents. My real parents are right here.
Okay, that explains some things. So, still a little confused.
Me too.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
When you say you had your bar mitzvah here, do not mention that it was actually the Contemporary Jewish Museum.
Well, could I say it was the Contemporary Jewish Museum?
Let me check on that. Karen, sorry about that.
Have you seen Dan's wife? I'm Dan's mother. And I mean,
Oh, we've been married 20 years. I have some pictures of
oh,
the kids.
Mantra! You look so nice, I didn't even recognize you.
Oh, nice to see you too.
It's a lovely party, dear, but I'm surprised it's not catered. It's customary, you know? Someone should put out some
We
knobs.
were going to, and then the museum said that we shouldn't, so we didn't. And we have some.
Waiters don't know anything.
I think they were actually security guards or something.
Oh, well, really?
Yeah,
But and the flowers, I could have helped you with the flowers.
they're not so bad. Well, we weren't allowed allowed to have fresh flowers, so
Boys!
Did you have a nice trip?
Yes,
Did you?
yes, it was lovely, but I had some presents, that was about it. And they gave us these little bottles of vodka.
Really? If you got one of those for me,
That was nice.
talk to me.
Now, boys, let's
Say hi to Mom, Grandma.
You look so nice with your haircut, darling. I can actually
Ma'am, no smoking at the museum. No, I mean, I don't have a problem
There's
with it.
no ashtrays
Yes, no
here.
smoking here. That's
Someone
official
should
policy.
take out the trash before there's a fire.
Okay, this is.
All right.
Who is that?
Annalisa! Oh, the cute kids, sweetie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very open and inclusive company here. Mantra's ex-girlfriend is here to share in the festivities, and we include everybody. Very nice. Okay, yes, I guess.
You're over it. Come on, you're not really upset over it.
I'm starting to think we should call the whole thing off. It's a disaster.
Well, there's no turning back now. It's not just about you anymore.
Exactly. God.
What is your problem?
The museum is making me nervous with all of their prohibitions. No one's enjoying themselves. My relatives keep complaining. It's bad enough having to live in a world in which other people exist without them telling me things all the time.
Damn it, behave. The guests are perfectly happy. You wanted me to arrange this, and I did. I did a great job.
But you didn't do what I wanted. You did a bad job.
You chickened out of the process. You agreed to my taking over.
But I didn't want a huge production. I just wanted my friends to come, not all these other silly people.
Well, they couldn't make it. It's the finals for the Soccer World Cup.
here.
Good to see you. How's it going? Really badly right now. It's my bar mitzvah. Nothing's going right. Nothing's going as I wanted it to go. And just crazy things are happening. No idea what's going on. Maybe this happens. What do you think should be going on? I don't know, I just wanted a celebration of, I wanted something about getting older to cling to, something good about getting older, and I've not been liking the aging thing. Oh yeah, that's a tough one. So you think having a bar mitzvah is gonna help? I don't know. I mean, I just thought, it's the celebration of becoming an adult. It seemed like it was something to try. No, it's not the celebration of becoming an adult. It's the celebration of becoming a son. Bar Mitzvah. So let me tell you a story. So there were two stores across the street from each other. One a hardware store, the other a clothing store. In the hardware store, there was a young man who on busy days could be found running everywhere, helping people out with their stuff to their car, weighing nails, figuring out the right compost for them to take home for their garden, the right seeds for this place, all of them. Always so busy, ringing up things, figuring things out, carrying, weighing, measuring, all with energy. Unbelievable. Across the street, there was another young man, about the same age. He did his job, man, he came in, he did his job, and he left. Nothing extra. Very efficient, however. Why? Why? Because the one in the hardware store was the son of the man who owned the store. The guy in the other place was a hired hand. One was an irreverent mitzvah, he did his mitzvah, but he did it as a servant. The other was a bar mitzvah. He did his mitzvah, but he did it as a son. You're not getting older, my old friend. You're just becoming a better son. Now go back in there. See you later.
Oh, Dan, there you are. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, Dan, Harry, will you get down a seat? We have a special presentation. Uncle Bill's daughter, Queen from China. It has a special gift for Dan from her ethnicity to him. Dan, if you just sit tight, we're just going to help you just stay put there so you don't have to walk out again. And Queen, take it away. Oh, yes, very nice.
Oh, that's so lovely. Don't let that touch the floor. I'm sure you appreciate what my daughter gave you from her
rejoice. Pharaoh has set us free,
Yes.
and we left Egypt singing. Wade in the waters, wade in the water, children. Wade in the waters, God's gonna trouble the water.
Oh, yeah.
Wade in the water, my children.
Preach.
And we crossed Jordan River. We have returned to the promised land, and the Lord said, put thy shoes off thy feet, for the place where thou standest is the holy ground.
Shoes off.
Jesus,
Nice cultural presentation there. Now we'll move right along. As you know, Dan is a math teacher. One of his students, his former students, is here to make a presentation to his mentor on this special day. I give you Dan A.
Oh, Dana.
No, it's Dan A, everybody.
It's Dana. Ah. Mr. Plonsey has been such an important teacher for both me and for so many others. And so now, Dan, in honor of your Bar Mitzvah, I present you with present.
I don't see the joy. Where's the joy? You're all in the presence of Dan Plonsey. And I just see melancholy. You're just standing around talking about his music. But to paraphrase the amateur Miles Davis, talking about Dan Plonsey's music is like dancing about mathematics. Which is exactly what we've come here to do for Plonsey. There's children. Watch. Give it to myself, and then James, we're all functioning. We'll start out with the same one.
the back. Say, anyway, go away, go away.
I have something to say.
Bill, not right now.
My daughter gave you that picture. We are family. It's all about family. You can't have a bar mitzvah without that. You are not a good son. It's all about being family, and you're not. You threw it. You are racist. You're all racist.
We're not racist. We have an anti-discrimination policy. We are not racist.
You are afraid of your
Bill, please sit down.
Oh, we're the racist.
Sir, talk to your brother.
Okay, well, now we've blessed the bread. We can't really do the candles, but at least you can have some challah.
I'm sorry, you didn't sign the food waiver.
So have a little, it's okay, someone will sign it. Have a little challah. We'll take a little intermission. We'll be back in just a few minutes. It'll all be fine, I'm telling you.
Nobody tell Dan about this, okay? You know, everything's gonna be totally fine.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Thank you. Now, you're out.
A land which flows with milk and honey, each under his fig tree, and each under her grapevine. Where the milk remains sweet, and geometry is queen, trigonometry on Alle Seelen zufrieden, zusammen, zusammen. Won't you go there with me?
everything's just going apocalyptically, titanically, catastrophically wrong. I wanted everything to just be perfect. I thought I had it. I had it. I wanted things to be. I feel like Dan turned into Eeyore from the start, and I gave him a busted balloon for his present. I just feel like everybody deserves at least one truly opulent celebration, like the end of the fairy tale when the princess gets the prince and half the kingdom. And I wanted to put a crown on Dan, a special one with the tinsel. If you're a normal, average, well-behaved sort of kid, it seems like you have a right to expect certain occasions. You know, when you're 13 and you have a Bar Mitzvah, and everybody gives you lots and lots of envelopes full of checks. And when you're 16, you can have your sweet 16 party and get your ears pierced and a pretty new dress. And when you're 18, they buy you a new car. And when you're 21, everybody buys you a drink. And then you go to college, and then you get married, and you get another car, and you get a baby, and you get a house, and you get a car seat for the baby. But I was kind of a messed up kid. I was strangely weird. And I was kind of a fixer-upper, but it wasn't clear that I was going to pay off. So when I was 13, I'd already been in therapy for about 8 years. And when I was 16, I celebrated my sweet 16 on the adolescent youth ward in the van. When I was 18, I started my first punk band, and our wedding was a potluck in the park. When people give you big things like that, it's like they're telling you that they believe in you, they believe you have a future. And I didn't have that, and I didn't really have much control over what happened to me when I was really little, or what happened to me when I was a teenager, and I couldn't control things very much, but I can control Dan. I feel like I could really give him something, and I wanted the boys to see this. I wanted them to know that there's nothing that you can't do if you really want to, and it's never too late. And why should you have to wait until your funeral before you find out how many people are going to come? So I just imagined that someday my kids would be sitting around in their college dorm, and they'd be talking about religion, and somebody would say, "So, did you have a Bar Mitzvah?" And they'd say, maybe Cleveland would say, "No, I never did, but I'll never forget my dad's." He was 52, and it was such a scene, you just wouldn't have believed it. And it doesn't, I figure I've screwed up so much already with them, but it doesn't make any difference to me what my kids do. I'm gonna love them no matter what they do, and I'm always gonna believe in them. Because I want them to know that they're worth it.
from?
Oh God, I thought I told you. The very first thing that I did this morning was fall down the basement steps.
How'd you do that?
Oh, I did that on purpose. Thank you. I'm fine, Grace. Thank you very much. And then after that, I tried to have breakfast, and then I sucked some coffee into my lungs. And then so after that, I was hysterical, if you remember, in the car from about 10:45 to 11:15. And then I broke my glasses earlier, and that's why the kids aren't wearing any underpants.
Okay, enough. I can't.
So I've been thinking.
Yeah, I don't want to hear what you're thinking. I don't want to hear it. You always have these problems, these self-inflicted problems.
What's wrong with my problems? My problems are good.
I've got real serious problems here. I'm trying to make sense of things. I'm trying to figure out what it means to be Jewish. It's my Bar Mitzvah, and I should have this figured out. I mean, like when I was little, the thing that I learned from my parents was that being Jewish meant that you stood up for the oppressed, against the oppressor. You sympathized with the underdog. I never thought that it would amount to bulldozing homes and olive groves. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure out these things. And you're here with these manufactured problems. You just say whatever comes into your head. You don't read the papers at all.
I don't have to make sense. I don't have to read the papers. I'm a mommy, and we know everything that's going on. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Nobody's right. I mean, they're both wrong, okay? Okay, think about this. Imagine that Native Americans come to our house in El Cerrito and say, give us back our land that you stole 150 years ago. Stop it. Do you give them our house? Because I don't. All right? I've had this planned out for a long time. When the Nazis come, I've got a place where we're going to hide, and I've got a baseball bat in the hall, and I know exactly where to crack somebody in the head so they never get up again. And do you even know where the fire extinguisher is? Stop that. Okay. Do you even know where the fire extinguisher is? Do you know where the fire extinguisher is? Do you? I win. Give me that. What is this thing you do whenever I'm winning a fight?
This is a football helmet, a face mask. I can put this on when I feel a little bit vulnerable.
Does it work?
Oh yeah. Of course, you can raise it up to be like a visor on a knight's helmet if you feel you need a little more protection. But I like to keep it down here. Visibility is much better, and I've got a good focus. Another thing that I do when someone's going on at me, I find myself tracing a pattern of a speech balloon on my hand, like in a comic. I'm enclosing the words, shutting them off. Kind of confuses them. Another thing that I find that works very well is the magnetic shoes. You want to keep at least 1 foot flat on the ground at all times so you don't drift off into space. It helps if you make L shapes, as a knight does in chess. You might find your arms dangling in your sides a bit, the way a cormorant's wings do. after it returns from a fishing trip, hangs them out to dry. Or perhaps you find that your arms are bored, forelegs are dangling like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You can really see how birds are the descendants of dinosaurs, can't you? You might also just feel a little bit of a sense of self-satisfaction around that. And then you demonstrate that through gesture and a self-satisfied facial expression. I've developed a whole set of gestures that I use in the classroom, of course. I like to have a pen with me when I'm at the board, and when I want to call my students' attention to a very fine point, a subtlety perhaps in a definition, I'll find myself pointing. The point, of course, is of no size whatsoever, and yet we're told that an infinite number of them make up a line. But points have no dimension, no length, no width, no depth, no dimension at all. And dimensions, other dimensions, my students are always interested in that. And there's a kind of funny joke that my colleague George Palin told me. It seems there was a graduate student who gave a presentation on a problem that involved 7-dimensional space. And very elegant presentation. And when he finished, the undergraduate said, "Oh, how did you manage to do that so clearly and so well? We can only visualize 3 dimensions." And the graduate student said, "Well, I just visualized n dimensions and let n equal 7. A little math humor there. Okay. So when I'm teaching, another thing that I find myself doing is I'll take the back of the pen and I'll plug it into my forehead. Sometimes it takes a couple attempts before I achieve good contact. And then, of course, I have contact to the other dimensions from which inspiration comes. And we can continue. Doing that, I'm just noticing there's this bump on my forehead. I don't know if you've noticed, but I was thinking it was getting bigger, but actually it's not. I don't think so.
Moses is here! Part the sea. Not part.
Hey, kid. Kid. So, your dad's 52 and he's a Bar Mitzvah. You know, I don't know if anyone told you, but when you're 13 in a day, you are a Bar Mitzvah. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to have any celebration, nothing. You're a man. So, you feel like a man?
I don't know. No.
Well, I mean, since you're already a man, there's no reason to have all this hoopla. Why do you think your dad's doing?
Because he wants to. I don't know.
You know what I think? I think the reason for having a celebration is so that you are forced to learn the Torah. You are forced to learn knowledge. Like in the X-Men movie, Magneto. He has this whole thing he says.
Your Christian God is a punisher. Well, my God, a Jewish God, is a bringer of knowledge.
What do you think of that?
I'll get back to him then.
Well, you know, Magneto's my favorite. It's because he stands up for what he believes in. He stands up for his people. He's a real man, even when they lock him away.
Magneto is boring. I like Wolverine.
What? I mean, don't you believe in anything? Don't you feel there's anything to fight for? I know what you believe in.
You know nothing. Magneto is boring. Wolverine is awesome. If Magneto and Wolverine both had bar mitzvahs, Wolverines would be way cooler.
If you talk like that at my school, everybody would laugh at you. Most people don't even know who Magneto is.
Now what, kid? I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna make you a man. Because I know what you believe in and what you think is worth fighting for.
Well, Harry.
Stand up for what you believe in!
Hey, Harry.
Welcome to the world of adulthood! Mazel tov!
How do you do this thing? It worked and now it doesn't. It only goes in one direction. Lots of things only go in one direction. Okay. What are these? They're empty places. Empty places. Yes. How you doing? Good. What's going on? Nothing. You know, people work a long time to get to the state where they can feel like nothing's going on. You're pretty young for that. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. Okay. Where's your dad? What's he doing these days? Music. Anything Jewish? Maybe. Probably. That's not what I heard. What did you hear? I heard your dad's having a bar mitzvah. That's what I heard. Okay. True or not? Yeah. And what do you think of it? I don't know. It's boring. Yep. You know what it's all about? No. Well, let me tell you a story. Okay. But which story to tell you? I got it. There was this guy walking through the woods one time, and he saw on the trees bullseyes, and every one there was an arrow right in the center. Unbelievable. He looked and he looked and he looked, maybe 20, 30 trees, all with this bullseye and an arrow smack in the middle. And he thought, who is this incredible archer? Who could this be? So he started looking through the forest and calling, yo, anybody here? Anybody here? And finally somebody called back, said, yes! And he heard right at that moment. He looked in the direction of the sound and he saw this man and he went up to him and said, are you the archer? And he said, yes, I am. And he said, you are incredible. How did you learn to shoot like that? Every single one a bullseye. And the archer just looked at him and said, oh, come here, I'll show you my secret. The secret was a can of paint. On the tree that he had just shot at was an arrow sticking in the tree. And with a can of paint right around the arrow, he drew a white circle. And around that, another circle. And around that, another circle. And he said, the secret is not to hit the bullseye. The secret is to bring the bullseye to what you just shot. Make sense out of your life, my friend. You're the only one who can do it. Go find your dad. I'm gonna do that. Okay.
interpretive dance. Take it away, Kevin. And the text reads that he was working with, see, I place the land at your disposal. Go in, possession of the land, that the Lord swore he would give to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac and Jacob, and to their descendants after them. Go in and take possession of the land! Take possession of the land! What?
I did just something we can find
You lied to me?
portion.
You lied to me?
What was I supposed to do?
I am a man of integrity. How dare you lie to me? Everything else you said, that was a lie too?
Like what? What do you mean?
Everything.
Like you or something?
I've been working so hard because of
Don't
you.
worry, you're gonna get paid.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Martha.
Don't you ever call me Martha again. My name is Mantra! Where are the kids? Where are the kids?
Fuck you. Fuck
$5 to find it.
$5? You only gave me $3 to hide it.
Oh yeah! You're reading this right now!
Ele Hadavarim Asher Diber Moshe El Kol Yisrael Be'ever Hayarden Bamidbar Barava Mosu Ben Paran Uben Tofel Belavan Bahatzerot Betizahav Ele. I'm sorry, I can't read any more of this. I've been pushed around all day. First of all, no more bullying. The Bar Mitzvah boy is just a pawn in the adult's game. It's like the sacrifice of Isaac up here. You know, the first thing you realize is that as you become an adult, that you've got all these obligations and responsibilities, and no matter what, you can't please anybody. And the Torah portion I have to read today, it's all about God telling the Jews to go and take possession of the land. Oh, never mind, there's already some people on there. We've got a strategy, blah, blah, blah. So we killed every man, woman, and child. So this passage has been interpreted beautifully over the years. It doesn't have to be a massacre. It's been interpreted poetically, intellectually, and all of a sudden, in Israel, they're interpreting it literally, like children. As for me, I'm on the side of life and on the side of creating stuff. No. I may not yet have figured out what it means to be Jewish, but I do know that I'm not Jewish. Yeah. L'chaim, everybody.
Well, I think we could say that that worked. And it's a bar mitzvah. We just have one last thing to do now that you're all here. If you would all join us, please. We need to make a big, big circle, kind of an oval, so you can come on up. There's room for everybody. Come on up, and you can hold hands or not hold hands. You can kind of stagger yourselves. We have one last little thing to do, and you can just follow with me. We'll have a little music, a nice tune. This kind of seals the deal here. So let's see. So it's good if you're kind of in a line, but you don't have to. You can sort of stay in a line when we come in here. And we're just going to start to just step or lean or bob back and forth, any way you like. You're doing great. This is mostly it, just that we're all together. Survived the diaspora. This sort of thing, 20 minutes or so, cardiovascular, maybe once every month or so. And then, yes. And then it can sort of start to change a little bit. So if you have an idea, you can go with it. You have a different idea. Everybody has their